Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run.
Hi, this is Jan Lewis. Welcome to be my guest today. We have from the Marlborough Library, Danielle Cook, and she is a librarian there, a reference librarian. And what she does is bookbinding, and she does a workshop showing you how to do bookbinding. And I love little journals and things like that. Welcome, Danielle.
Thank you.
And first of all, how did you get into this?
Well, I started in college, actually.
Where'd you go?
SUNY Geneseo. It's in New York.
Okay.
There was a class that was offered on bookbinding. It was something I was just very interested in because I've been a reader and craftsy all my life. So I signed up for it and I took it, and it was absolutely fantastic. And that class was part of what pushed me to become a librarian.
Well, what gets me is that she's going to show you quite a few things here. When I thought bookbinding, I thought, well, it'll probably be about a regular big book or something, how to do that. But wait till you see these adorable journal books. This is right up my alley. So you're over at the Marlborough Library.
Mm-hmm.
You just had a workshop.
Yes.
And you've got another one coming up. If you're interested in going, it's at no charge, right? Open to the public.
Yes, free.
Monday night, May 14th, okay? It's 6:30. And let's take a look. First of all, you can show us your tools. Show us what these little bookbindings are.
All right. Well, so first, I'll show you one of the simpler books.
Yeah.
So this was one of the books that we made at the Marlborough Public Library.
Mm-hmm.
It's really simple. It's just a little bit of cardstock and then some paper inside.
Yeah.
And it's just a 5-hole binding. So there's just 5 holes punched along the spine here.
Yeah.
And then
Is that a ribbon in the middle?
it's actually embroidery floss.
Embroidery
Yes.
floss.
Traditionally, bookbinding is done with linen thread, but I like the embroidery floss because it's so colorful.
Would you put it through a needle and work it through the binding? Let me see just.
Yes.
So this looks not only like fun. Now you can put your own design on the front.
Yep, so that's washi tape. It's
Washi
a lot
tape,
of fun.
okay.
It comes in a lot of cool colors and designs.
And this is basically cardstock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you have how do you punch such little itty bitty holes for the sides?
So for those, I have an awl.
Okay.
It's very, very small.
Can you see that
so
one
it's
up there?
it's much smaller than like a wood or leather worker's awl.
Right.
But that's small enough to punch
Okay.
the little holes
And
there.
then the person can just weave it through.
Yep, and we have special binder's needles for that, and I can actually show
Where
you.
did anybody buy those? Like at Michael's? or-
I buy them online.
Okay.
You can get them, I believe, at some Michael's or Joann Fabrics.
Binder's needles.
But they're, I know they're in there.
So they're pretty. They don't probably cost too much, right?
No, I think it's like $5.
Would
for
a
pack.
what do you call it? A carpet needle or a large yarn needle? Would that work?
A yarn needle would be too big. You don't want to open up the holes so wide that the book starts to fray there on the inside.
Yeah.
There we go.
There they are. Are they delicate?
So they're not really. I mean, you can snap them if you try,
Mhm.
but they're much longer than like a sewing needle,
Oh.
and they're a little bit thicker too.
I know you can't see this, but it looks to me like, yeah, you're right, one of those long sewing needles, a little bit thicker, right?
Mhm.
And then, but it's got, for those of us who have trouble, I've never, even as a kid, I've never been good at threading the thing.
It does have a bit of a small
It's
hole
a
there, yeah.
challenge. You know, I'm getting it up to the light. Why is it some people have an easier time and others don't?
I don't know.
Don't they have a threader you can buy?
They do, yeah. There are a couple different styles.
Does it work?
Sometimes.
Maybe I should. So when people are in your workshop and they're learning to do it, they'll thread it, right? They'll thread it,
Mhm.
or you might have to help them. They'll go through it themselves. It doesn't take long to make this, right?
No, so something like this takes maybe just about 5 minutes. The paper inside is just printer paper cut in half,
Mhm.
and then I just cut the cardstock to match. And then you just punch your holes, and you sew it up real quick. There are tutorials that you can find online. Pinterest is really great
Yeah.
for finding sewing tutorials.
This never even dawned on me. I thought it'll be books. The fact that it was journals, which is right up my alley. I love this. Look at this. Now, this was what kind? This was. what
So
kind?
that's a similar thing. That one, instead of doing a 5-hole binding, it's done in a chain stitch.
Yeah.
And then I added beads to it.
Now, you added beads as you went along?
Yes, as I was sewing
Well,
it.
what kind of paper? Is this construction paper? No.
That might be construction paper. Yeah, I think so.
And then you sewed on a little design.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of specialty art
Oof,
paper
oof.
on the inside.
And then how long would it take to make something like that?
That one I think took me maybe about 20 minutes because I had to cut the stars out with an X-Acto knife and sew the front up.
Do you sell these online at all?
I don't.
You don't. Boy, girl, I think you're very...
I may need to, though.
How about craft fairs? Do you go to those?
No.
Oh,
No,
I think
just,
you
I
find
do it for me.
a lot of people I would be the first at the table. Anything fun to write, even if it's a diary, even if it's keeping track of maybe some new friend's phone number,
Mhm.
something like this, your appointments, your doctor's. This is adorable. Now you've got, what is this one? What is that?
So this one's another pamphlet style. This one is just a 3-hole binding. So it's similar to the one we looked at earlier. It's just got 2 fewer holes.
Put that right up.
And this one, it has a little bit of calligraphy on the front.
What does it say? Common sense, addressed to the inhabitants of America. There you go. Yeah, I got you.
That's a nice Massachusetts thing for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. But let me see. Now this was made out of what kind of paper? Same type of thing?
Yeah, so that one is, again, a kind of cardstock. On that one, the binding is the traditional linen thread that you would usually use.
But I don't see it.
It's really, really thin. It's right on the outside there. Right there.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. That looks really easy. I mean, you would make 1, 2, 3, 4 holes, right?
It's just 3.
3 holes.
Yep, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, and then you just, and you can choose whatever. What do you recommend for the inside paper?
So I usually use printer paper because it's easy and cheap. But you can also use, so in this book,
Oh, I love
I
that.
have
Ah,
I have cardstock, which is a little bit thicker, so the
Yeah.
inside of the book is a little bit more heavy duty too.
look at the cover of this. Now, it almost looks like she bought it in a store. So perfect. But the back, how did you ever punch holes in the back of this solid?
With the awl.
With the
You
awl.
just press really hard.
Right hard.
Mm-hmm.
You put, I love the bow. And then you used white, the white thread through it, right?
So that's embroidery floss again in a really light yellow color. And that kind of binding is called a Coptic binding. So you can see this is just a single pamphlet.
Yeah.
It's just sewn through the outside. But this one, if you look carefully at the spine, you can see that it has individual little pamphlets inside of it.
Yeah,
So
they look like
there's a
little
pamphlet.
pamphlets. Did you buy the pamphlets separately, or did you turn it
Nope,
over?
nope, I made them also.
made that?
And then they are sewn to each other.
That is a project. Now that's going to take longer than it would with the little other one, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this sort of binding with the multiple signatures and the stitching across the spine, that takes half an hour to an hour to 2 hours.
What do you think, girls? I'm in love with it. It's got a bow on it. Would I use it for a diary? I mean, it just feels too good to do that. I could probably think of a million things, but what a gift for somebody. Like, do you ever give them as gifts?
I do, yeah.
I bet they are over the moon when they get these.
My favorite ones to make are, I'm of that age where a lot of my friends are getting married.
Yeah.
And so I like to collect all the little pieces of paper from the wedding.
Yeah.
The invitation, the service notes, everything. And then I bind it all together in a book and then give it to them on their 1-year anniversary.
How did you make the cover of this? Was this paper on top of the hard?
So this is, it's called binder's board.
Mm-hmm.
And it's thick cardboard, and then I covered it with a nice paper, a sort of like scrapbooking paper that you could get at Joann's or Michael's.
Binder's board. I had never heard of binder's board. I didn't, the things that you're coming, I would never even knew were out there. I mean, the smaller thing, but like cardstock and that. But when did you get into this? When you were in college, right?
Mm-hmm.
How did you get? How did it happen?
It was a class that was being offered.
It was a class.
Yeah, it was one of the art classes, so I signed up for it.
Boy, when I was majoring in art in college, they didn't have this. I just kept getting criticized for my style. She was very strict. This is something that I would have loved. Where did you go again? What school?
SUNY Geneseo.
SUNY Geneseo.
It's in central New York.
Did you major in art?
I did not.
You did library sciences?
I majored in English literature. My master's is in library sciences.
Oh, no wonder she's working as a reference library. How long have you been over at Marlborough Library?
About almost 3 years, I think.
You must love it.
I do.
I've been there. I don't think I've ever been in a library I don't like. And every library has a flavor.
Mm-hmm.
They really, really do. You have some good events going on over there. And of course, again, May 14th coming up at 6:30, she's going to be there again, Danielle Cook, and she's going to show you how to do these little books. We're going to show you some more. These little book by now, this horse. Show them your horse.
So this one is cut out of multiple pieces of paper.
Hold that right up so we can see it. Multiple pieces. Did you have a print to, like a stencil?
I printed out just a silhouette.
Yep.
And then I worked, I transferred that over to a few of these, and then worked with an X-Acto knife and cut all of that out. It probably took me about an hour.
And then there's the thread that you sewed through there.
So this is just ink. That's metallic ink.
Yeah.
And then it's just bound on the end.
So with the embroidery thread.
With the blue embroidery thread. Yep.
I think that is adorable. When people come to your workshop, a lot of them must come in thinking, I don't know if I'm going to do this or be able to do this or not. All ages, right?
Yeah, so we do a lot of simpler things in the classes at the library. So as I've said, we did the pamphlet there, with just the simple binding down the end. We've also done stab bindings.
Oh, yeah. Oh, right. Stab bindings?
Yep. So they're also called Japanese stab bindings, but they were used in a lot of Eastern cultures. So. And these ones, instead of sewing through the end of the book, you actually stab through the book and then sew through it.
Is that washi tape on the side?
Yep, so that's more washi tape.
That's a big deal right now.
It is, yeah, it's really popular.
W-A-S-H-U?
W-A-S-H-I.
Washi tape. I think they have it like at Walmart and stuff like that. I never had heard about it, but I think people really, really like it.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of fun. It's really colorful. It's really easy to take off afterwards. So
you can change your mind.
Yes.
I can see can you imagine that, giving somebody a beautiful wedding gift of that, like a book for the memories, and also it was a honeymoon gift, like where did you go, you could put their pictures in it. Mm-hmm. Excellent gift. How can people reach you, Danielle?
So I'm available. I work at the Marlborough Public Library. I'm at the reference desk in the mornings. So if you're there, you can always stop by and see me. And you can also email me at dcook, that's C-O-O-K, at cwmars.org.
All right. Now I know my favorite already. This one I absolutely love. Now this one, oh, okay. I can see giving this to the bride. This is that Snow White or Cinderella? Cinderella and her prince. Where did you get this idea?
Well, that's actually some paper that I cut out of a book that we were getting rid of. Yeah. Because the book itself was in really bad shape. It was falling apart, and a couple of the pages had been stained pretty badly. But there was some art in it that I really, really liked. So I cut out those pages and I saved them to make a book out of.
I can see. Well, actually, too, if you have a friend going to the prom, I know I went to 3 proms. I loved it. Yeah, well, to me, that was just, oh, God, loved it. Not all girls do, but I thought that was a lot of fun. If Mom and Dad had given me something like this to write in, and like what happened at the prom, and, what did the other girls wear, what the other one, how, I think this would be a lot of fun. Also, though, at a wedding, for the bride, have you given this as like, or is this a unique one? This only one you got?
That is the only one that I have like that. That's one that I made as an example for a class that we did.
You know what, too? When people are having a wedding anniversary. Even seniors who are having theirs, they've been married 60, 70, how many years? How cute for the bride. What do you think?
I mean, I think they're the perfect
The
gift.
sky's the limit with you. Oh my God, I love this. Okay, now let's keep going. We've got, all right, what, this is abstract. Show us this one.
So this one was one that I made a while ago. And it's actually...
Hold it right up so we can see.
It's actually painted paper.
You painted it yourself?
I painted it myself.
Over the stencil, or you made the design?
I just used some little rubber-tipped clay pencils, and painted just a blue background, let it dry, and then did a darker blue with some green, and kind of swirled it around a little bit.
What kind of paint do you use? Acrylic? Or?
Yeah.
Acrylic, okay. And I don't know if watercolor would work or not. I don't know.
It would.
It would?
Yeah. You can do pretty much anything.
How gorgeous.
And then on the front, I cut out the inner bits and put a piece of red paper behind it, so it just kind of pops.
There's surprise. You have the element of surprise, and that is a lot of fun. That's why I can see this so popular. I had never seen an advertisement that you were doing this. Is this your first? Was this the last one? Your first try doing the workshops about it, or have you done it before?
So this is the first time I've taught it.
Yeah.
But we're having a lot of fun with it.
No, we're kidding.
We're almost done with the winter sessions,
Yeah.
but we'll be starting up again in the fall after summer reading.
Okay, so May 14th coming up is the last one for the season.
Yes, that'll be the
Okay.
last one for the season.
Okay.
We're doing folded books, so it's going to be like origami based.
Origami based. Okay,
Mhm.
it won't be exactly this.
No, so it won't be quite like these. But I really like fold books also because
like
they're
that.
very geometric.
Isn't origami like really complicated to try?
It can be.
Yeah, but you like that one. You've got a lot up your sleeve. We're talking with Danielle Cook, and she is a bookbinder, and it's not what I thought. I thought it was going to be just, the kind of books you get, buy in the store. No, these are like the most adorable journals. They look so professional. It looks like I picked it up at Tatnuck or Barnes & Noble. Honest to God, with these personal touches. Now, this one has a panda.
That one has pandas on it. Yep,
Yeah.
that one's bound with fabric covers. And that one was for my husband because his favorites are pandas.
You made this for him?
I did.
I can see these as a gift when someone graduates high school, college, stocking stuffers at Christmas, any kind of occasion, anything. In the hospital, that's another idea too. That type of thing, somebody's in hospital, what a neat type of thing to give to people. Do you know what I mean? What kind of great thing that would be. Have you thought of this stuff?
I haven't.
I'm your idea girl.
I just like making them.
That's good. That's all we need. We need you to make them and get you out there. So now this is the board. This is the
Yep. So that's the same kind of thing. It's bookboard covered in fabric instead of covered in paper, and then it's sewn with the Coptic binding along the spine there. So you'll see the blue chain that crosses the spine.
Sometimes I've noticed, like if I try to cover something in fabric, I'm thinking, how am I going to cover up the inside where I glued it in? You figured it out beautifully.
Yes, you just put a piece of paper over it.
Why didn't I think of that? I thought, well, maybe I'll put a couple of gems, bling bling or something. This girl's got it all figured out. And then how many holes? This one has a few more holes, right, on the sides?
So this one has a bunch of holes because in addition to the front cover and the back cover being punched with holes,
Yeah.
each of the individual packets inside here, they're called signatures, has holes punched in it also. So you can see if I open it up to the inside.
These have those,
here.
again, those little already, yeah.
Yeah, so each of them are sewn along the inside.
Yep.
So there's a seam there, and then there's another seam down the middle of this one, right there.
Oh, wow.
So this one, yeah. So this binding, it's really pretty. I love it. It's one of my favorites, but it takes a while to do.
I would think that they'd want to teach this in high school art class. Why not? Or even younger. Middle school. They've done away with a lot of art things, So you've noticed, yeah. I know art was big when I was in high school. You had art, handwriting, those were the specialties. And then as the years, even when my son, he's still a kid, he's a millennial, but it began to go like this. I thought, where's the art? Did you find that? You're in his generation. Did you find that too?
Not quite so much. I think I looked for the art a little
You
bit.
look for it, yeah. Well, you're a natural for it. Were you artistic as a kid?
Not like this. It took me a little while to figure out
Yeah.
what I was good at because, believe it or not, I cannot draw for beans.
You can't?
I can't.
But this
But I
fascinated
can do
you.
this.
Yeah.
And I can crochet, and I can knit, and I can sew, and I can do needle felting, and all of this weird stuff.
And yet you didn't draw.
But I cannot draw.
What did your parents think? Well, what do they think of these? Your mother must love these.
My mother thinks they're beautiful. She loves it when I give her one every couple of years for Christmas.
Oh yeah, I would say no, every couple months. I want to be. Okay, Christmas, Easter, birthday. Don't slack off. Thanksgiving. No, I would be all over this. If I had a daughter, she did that. I'd like. Oh yeah, she's so lucky to have you. What's this big one now?
So this one is my pride and joy.
Ooh.
This one is.
What does it say?
Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. It doesn't actually have the text inside. It's just blank.
Yeah.
But this again is cutouts
Mhm.
over a different piece of paper. And this one, it opens both ways actually. So on this side, it
Yeah.
opens in this direction. And then on the other side, we have through the looking glass.
Oh
And that
my
one
God.
opens
You
also.
thought this up yourself.
Yes. So
It
it's,
looks like two different books are together.
yeah. So this style of book is called a do-si-do book because it opens on both sides,
Yeah.
and so I can kind of do that.
Oh my gosh!
So
Can
it's
you
kind
hold
of-
this up? Look at this. Look. How long did it take you to do that?
This one a couple hours at least, because I had to cut it out. I had to do the Coptic bindings on each side,
I would think a couple of days. I'm looking at it like the intricate.
and I had to make the covers and do the calligraphy.
Oh my God! Look at this. What do other people think of this? Dolly, what?
Do-si-do.
Do-si-do. They must. What did they figure it out, or you have to tell them?
They pick it up and it kind of falls apart in their hand for a second,
Yeah.
and then they look at it, and then it just kind of all comes together, and then they're amazed.
Oh, okay. It's this way. I keep wanting to go this way. Okay. So all right. So it's this way and then this way. And it's that hard. I love these the boards that you're using. Are those hard to find? No. You can find those anywhere.
I get them on.
Where have I been? Are they at Michael's and Mason?
I don't think so because those are a little bit more specialized. I just purchased mine online because they're cheaper.
You find it easier that way?
Mm-hmm.
I never think to get anything online unless it's something that they don't have in a store. Then I will. But usually I like to go and feel it, look at it, touch it. You've thought this all on your. She's got the chess pieces from Alice in Wonderland on the back, and then the Mad Hatter,
Mm-hmm.
and who's that one?
The White Rabbit's Clock.
The White Rabbit. We need to get you over here in Upton. The heck with Marlborough. We need you here. In fact, she's friends with one of our librarians here, so we'll see if we can't get her to come over here. Really, I have never seen anybody over here do this. We see a lot of artists in this area. I've never seen this. Never. What's coming up in your future? What do you think you're going to do with this? Besides teach it, come on.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's always just been a hobby for me. It's something that I do usually late at night.
Oh, a night owl too, yeah.
Yeah. When the feeling comes over me.
Yeah. And that's it. Can people, Marlborough, now that's off of the way I go to your library is, where I go the long way, but I go Route 20. And then it's like up to the side, you go around.
Mhm.
If somebody wanted to meet you and come talk to you, do you work out front there every day?
Monday through Thursday, I'm at the
Okay.
desk, yeah.
About all day long?
Just in the morning.
Okay, in the morning, and they would find you maybe at the front desk?
Yeah, so it's the reference desk, which
Yeah.
is down at the end of the circulation desk, but if you walk in and just ask for me,
I
they'll
think,
put you
is the
towards me.
children's section down in the basement?
Yes.
That's where I went one time. I was writing someone's memoir. There was not a quiet room a special study hall to meet in or something. So I had to find a little space downstairs in the basement. It worked out fine. Over there's a bunch of chairs.
Mm-hmm.
Have they made a quiet room or a study room at all over there?
Yeah, so we do have a quiet room on the first floor now in the adult section.
Okay, when did you start that one? That's great.
We've done a bunch of reorganizing over the past 2 years or
No
so.
wonder I didn't run into it. So it's on the first floor.
Yeah, so it's on the first floor.
Mhm.
It's got periodicals, magazines,
Yeah.
and reference materials in there.
Yeah.
And it's opposite the teen room.
What's your favorite in all the genres? Let's talking about books. What do you like to read the most? Oh, she's like, oh.
Oh, no.
No?
Oh.
No favorite? No favorite or sci-fi or what?
I love sci-fi and fantasy.
Yeah.
And nonfiction.
And nonfiction. Okay. Sci-fi fantasy is big, especially with young adults right now.
Yeah.
I mean, my son's group, the millennial, all he wants is something that's, he even wants to write a book. It's very fantasy oriented with a sci-fi twist. That seems to be, and that's great. We need more different things like that.
Yeah.
Are you thinking of writing a book?
I have written a couple books.
Where are they?
They're not published because they're terrible.
Oh, you can self-publish,
I.
Why not? What were they about?
Mostly rewritten fairy tales. I wrote them during NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month,
Yeah.
which happens during November. You just sit down and you write a 50,000 word novel over the course of the month.
And you just did it.
I did it a couple times, yeah.
Where are the books now? Just parked away?
Yeah, they're just tucked away.
Nobody's encouraged you? I bet you're good. I really, don't lose that. If you've got that talent, don't lose it.
Being able to write is not the same as being able to write well.
You know, we have a lot of authors who are just starting out on here. And some think that, oh, well, I don't know if my book's good. But they get out there, you know, they get it self-published with CreateSpace, and then they get out there and they talk about it. But we're talking with Danielle Cook, and she works over at as a reference librarian over at the Marlborough Public Library. And she has been doing wonderful bookbinding. When she brought these in, I thought, oh my God, I had no idea it was this kind, which I absolutely love. They're like journals, little journals, and then of course you make the wedding kind, that kind, and it's all hand done, and it's not as hard as you'd think because she's explained how you just poke the holes in the side, right, and you take the embroidery thread, you go through. You have to have some patience at first, I assume, to know how to do it. If you're all thumbs, which I can be, I tried beading and it was a disaster. I don't know how the other girls, these were small beads. And they were going everywhere. I was trying to get the thing through. I'm better off, the bigger the better. This again is just, Danielle, again, how can they reach you?
I'm at the Marlborough Public Library. You can come in and visit me in the morning, Monday through Thursday, at the reference desk. Or you can email me at dcook@cwmars.org.
Now, she has on May 14th coming up there because she's going to be doing bookbinding on Monday, May 21st, 6:30 at the library. This is going to be an origami style.
Yes.
Origami.
Yep,
Okay.
so it'll be fold books. It's an adult class because we'll be using some slightly more advanced techniques, which I'll be teaching.
Yep.
And we do ask that you sign up online at our website, marlboroughpubliclibrary.org, so that we can have enough materials for everybody.
When will you be going back and doing this type of bookbinding? Next fall?
So yes, we'll be starting up again in the fall with a new series, and we may cover some slightly more advanced topics then.
How's that? That sounds really good. Thank you so much for being on the show. I'm so glad we met because it had me fascinated. I know I wasn't able to make your group. I thought we're still going to see if we can't get her to come on the show. Because I think there's a lot of women out there love these journals and love this type of thing, and they're happy. They're fun, like you showed us. They're creative. Anything goes. Anything goes. You can have all kinds of fun. Thank you so much, Danielle. We'll see you next time. I'll be my guest.